within our soft targets.
And of course, this latest incident just really highlights the...
Yes, security really is the issue here, not just for the US troops.
Where the sun always shines, every day of every weather.
On Baghdad's skyline, a once forbidden forest of satellite dishes is in full bloom.
Armed with the latest technology, real-time weather reports.
Pakistani opposition party staged protests.
Since the end of the war, these round windows to the outside world have been rolling into Iraq.
This is the youngest son.
Thanks to his university job, Professor Abdul Hussein Sikhi's family can afford, unlike many, to buy a dish. An act which would have sent him to jail under Saddam Hussein.
This affects the education and the knowledge of the whole family. So now we're sitting in this room more than what we used to do in previous days.
I just invited the police commissioner over here for a live demo. Surprise! You what? Get these stupid cups off me pronto. Let me tell you.
Becoming TV addicts.
All right, yeah.
It's like the West.
Right, yeah. Sometimes, we spend the whole day sitting here, shifting, channels.
So that you get a lot of transparency. So
just to see what's happening around us in the world.
مقتل عدد من الجنود الأمريكيين وإصابة آخرين في هجوم في الخالدية قرب
Pre-war Iraqis were fed a strict TV diet of Saddam worship, variety shows and propaganda bulletins dressed up as news. The days of Iraq's free press ended the moment that Saddam Hussein's Ba'ath Party came to power in 1968. Over the next 3 decades, Iraq's media was beaten into becoming little more than a mouthpiece, helping to prop up Saddam Hussein's regime. And this was Control Central, Iraq's information ministry, where local and visiting foreign journalists were cajoled and controlled, right up until just hours before this building was blown apart by American missiles.
They are stupid and condemned.
But beyond the rubble, the myth of Saddam's invincibility was maintained, even as coalition troops entered Baghdad.
لا وجود للعلوج الأمريكان في مدينة بغداد.
There is no any trace, no any existence to the American troops or British troops in Baghdad at all.
أبدا.
At all.
Saddam's die-hard information minister, Mohammed Sayyid al-Sahaf, became familiar around the world as Comical Ali.
We crushed the forces in Saddam International Airport.
This television station was also destroyed by American missiles.
So a bomb landed straight on you,
yes.
on the middle of your office?
7 missiles falling on this building.
7 missiles?
Yeah.
Ala Al-Jabouri was working as a journalist at the Iraqi satellite channel in the days before it was struck. This station was directly controlled by Saddam's son, Uday, since killed by coalition forces.
This is my editing area.
And what happened to all the equipment?
Document? This is document.
And what's this on the
this
floor?
This is poster.
What's that poster about? What's it say?
Iraqi satellite channel. Show our program, show our truth.
And how much of what people saw on the Iraqi satellite channel was true?
True.
How much?
I think not all think from show from Iraqi Satellite Channel is truth.
Most of it was lies.
There is. I think this is a policy for any channel. Serve them government.
Serving Saddam was the sole purpose of the handful of newspapers available under his regime. A staggering 180 new papers have entered the market since the end of the war. Some are party political, others religious. Only a few are credible and widely popular.
أكثر شيء جريدة الصباح والزمان والشاهد، هاي أكثر الجرايد اللي تمشي عندي لأنها صادقة وصريحة. بقية الجرايد فيها نوع من المبالغة، يعني.
Nada Shawkat is supervising editor of one of Iraq's most credible papers, Al-Azzaman.
إنما تعرض الشيء كما هو واقع. ممكن أي جريدة أخرى اللي تابعة لأي جهة ثانية، سواء الصباح اللي تابعة للتحالف أو أي جريدة حزبية، تعرض الخبر بوجهة نظر الجهة اللي تمثله.
Few Iraqis get to read the American military newspaper, Stars and Stripes. Yet many read its stablemate. The American-backed Al-Sabah is Iraq's biggest-selling daily. With coalition funding, it sells for a third of the price of its competitors.
There are complaints. People say, you're supporting a particular media. Why not all of us?
An American of Lebanese descent, Nabil Khoury is the Arabic spokesman for the US State Department.
Ultimately, what we hope will be built in Iraq is a free society where the private sector plays a major role. Therefore, what the CPA, the Provisional Authority, is doing here is temporarily sponsoring an official media outlet.
هذا حجية انت من المهجرين اسمح لي والله واخوتي اثنين اخذهم صدام حسين وعدمهم
زين انت كنت بايران؟
لا انا بغداد بس اهلي كلهم سافرهم وداهم لايران واخوتي هنا حجزهم وقتلهم وذبحهم ندور عليهم ماكو.
In post-Saddam Iraq, Ala Al-Jabouri now reports for the coalition-backed television station, the Iraqi Media Network. Today she's covering a story about Iraqi refugees who have returned home from years of exile in Iran, looking for missing relatives.
مزيدا من الصور التي يتصفحها أبو محمد باحثا عن أولاد أخيه. ترى هل سيجدهم بين هذه الصور التي تصفحها وبين هذه الصور أبو محمد؟
نعم.
وجدت الذين تبحث عنهم؟
لا يزال البعض.
يعني أنا راح أقول.
Ala is one of the Iraqi Media Network's most respected young journalists. She questions the independence of her American-backed employer.
I can't say occupation, American occupation or British occupation, while I saw that in the news said occupation, American occupation, British occupation. But when I write that in my story, no, you should say Alliance Forces. I think this is a stupid idea.
هيك تسوي باوع عند موجودة بالرشز هيك تسوي تبكي خذتها كلش قوية هاي اللقطة بتحكي وين الكاميرا وهيك سوت وبدأت تبكي نساء يلفوهن
As Ala edits her story, her boss George Mansour is busy interviewing an Iraqi tribal leader in the studio next door.
لنعود إلى موضوع التحالف وقوات التحالف. إذا أنتم لستم راضين على آلية عمل وعلى أداء قوات التحالف في العراق، فما هذه التحفظات يعني ما هي؟
بالتأكيد احنا ما راضين لأنه كل الأساليب والمعالجات اللي جاي تصير هي معالجات.
A returning exile handpicked by the coalition, George Mansour denies his network is guilty of censorship.
Jabouri also says that she's not allowed to use the word occupation on your television station.
That's not true. I mean, we are not using that word because we feel that this occupation brings to Iraqi people freedom.
But editors in the station are saying, do not use the word occupation.
Believe me, we never do this censorship. And the person that I interviewed for half an hour, that's for my program, this person used many times occupation. And I mean, we have no problem with that.
The Iraqi Media Network shares a building with the Coalition Press Centre. It's here that journalists' inquiries are fielded and positive news is spun.
I was able to get in contact with Lieutenant Colonel Carver.
Hey, what's up?
No problem. All right.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Satisfy customers.
We're the front line for the media, and we try to make it as simple and easy for you as possible.
Sadly, this week, we must also include among those who died the brave Iraqi policeman.
Daily news conferences are part of the service. But after 35 years of repression, it isn't always easy for journalists who don't really understand how a free media works.
هذا السؤال الأول. ما يخص ممكن السؤال الثاني أكمل؟
At her first coalition press conference, Al-Jabouri's list of questions lasts almost 4 minutes.
السؤال الرابع إنه أصدرتم قرار بإزالة التجاوزات.
I'm going to answer 2.
Only 2?
I'm going to answer 2. Okay?
Okay.
So we can give somebody else a chance.
It isn't always easy for consumers of the new free media either.
I can't let the commissioner see any of your inventions. They're dangerous.
In the days of Saddam, it was simple. There was only one version of the truth. Some believed what they were told, but most did not. Now Iraqis face a bewildering array of choices. Working out what's worth watching is difficult enough. Choosing what to believe is harder still.
This really highlights the lack of security in today's Iraq.